ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise! We're here. I got so excited about my little sign, and I kept my Matt Gould is here. We're here on Tuesday. I'm so nervous because, listen, this is going to be a biased interview. I'm going to tell you up front. I know Matt Gould. I love Matt Gould. He's like a brother. He's one of my best friends. When I met Matt Gould, I was straight. I was not singing. I was 100 pounds heavier. And I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to hear this journey of this show. It is Broadway week here on the Roundtable. We have the Harry Potter boys. We have the Pearly Girls. We have Matt Gould in the house to talk about Lempicka. So if you need a ticket, and listen, I know that some of the Roundtable family that watches every week, you're going to come up here for June. You're going to come see me at 54 Below. You already got your tickets. And then you're going to say to me, what Broadway show should I go see? You need to get your Lempicka tickets now. Now. The Tonys are on June Father's Day. And then you're going to need your tickets before then. So go right now. Lempicka, a new musical about a true original, is playing. It's going to be here at the Long Acre. See? Hello. Yes. Welcome, Roundtablers. Thank you. A great show with Matt is here. My friend Mike is laughing because he said I was straight. He was in my bridal party when I was straight. Now he'll wear a dress at my gay wedding. See? Matt says I was so straight. I'm still butch. Matt Gould is here.
You're not butch at all. There's nothing butch about you, but I love you.
Matt, I love you, and I'm so excited that you're going to spend time with us here because you've changed my life, and you're about to change many lives with your music. And I know you hate the accolades, and I know you don't want to make this about you, but it is about you. Your music is sweeping, and it is big, and it is bold, and it is a character in everything that you do, and it's about to take New York City on fire. So everyone watching this, if you love theater and you grew up listening to big Broadway shows and you had those soundtracks on repeat and you want to hear orchestras, live musicians, and big gigantic ballads and numbers and moments, you're about to get it. You're about to get it. You better get your tickets right now.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yes. Yeah, it's time to bring back the big musicals. You know, we need a big one.
Yes, we need a big musical. Now, before I get into your journey and how you got here, which is a story and a ride all of itself. Hi, thank you for being here, everybody watching right now on a Tuesday. Lempicka, it seems like Lempicka's the artist is having a moment. We were at the Madonna concert the other night.
We were,
and it was a New York City. The neighborhood was out. There's Lempicka paintings throughout the whole arena. I was reading the Streisand autobiography. I sent the picture. She writes about going on tour to be able to buy Lempicka work. I didn't know about Lempicka until I knew you did the show. I think she's a woman. She's a queer woman, and it's not. We don't know about her like Picasso and like all these other. Why don't we know about her?
You just said it. She's a woman. She's a queer woman. We still live in a culture that's very about the men. And you know what? I was in Poland last year talking to the folks who run the museum where her exhibit was, and I was like, why isn't she known? And it's interesting to hear people sort of justify even like, well, there's questions about whether her work is technically as blah, blah, blah as so-and-so. And I guess the way I look at it is always like, does the art do something to you? Does it make you feel something? Does it repulse you or thrill you or like turn you on or make you think about something? If it does that, something's working, something's right. And so I think it's a good question. Like, why don't we know about her? Because we don't celebrate this in our culture. We don't celebrate women. We don't celebrate queerness. I think that some of that is shifting, but like, it's time. And clearly there's a feeling in the air that this kind of work is something that we're craving, we're hungry for in this time and culture.
Well, we want smart art, and we don't always celebrate good art, and that's what she did, and that's what you all are doing. I Before we talk more about you, I saw workshops of the show because I know you. I went to Williamstown and I saw it there. I went to La Jolla and I saw it there. It has been 14 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Almost?
Yeah. I was 29 years old when I started working on this piece. I'm 44 now. And, I think a lot about just time. The show is so much about time, actually. And her work is about time, too, and just the ways that the world she sort of lived through between World War I and World War II. She saw just these great, massive movements of, historical movements kind of happen, not even before her eyes. She was inside of them, running from them. And so her work inevitably becomes about the passage of time and the things that we live through. And so it's been interesting in some ways, like maybe poetic. Maybe that's the nice way to look at the fact that it takes this freaking long to write a musical. But yeah, it's time. I always say, like, I wasn't married when I started the show. I didn't have kids. I didn't even know I wanted kids. I didn't have a house. It's just, and you look at all that's happened just in my own little tiny life in 14 years. And it really for me, it gives me just a tiny insight into, like, just how vast, first of all, her life was. And then even, pulling out even farther from that, just the world is, time and the things people live through, and, blah, 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 big artistic ideas.
That it is. And look, just to put it all in perspective, as you talk and give this deep answer, you get a comment that says, "This guy's hair is nice." See, and that's
Thank you, Waffle. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, because I was worried about my hair before. It was like not really working for me. So let's bring it back down.
This is all you can eat buffet of art and appreciation of whatever.
I love it.
Because people were asking questions on message boards, and people have asked me that I know you will say things like, how did this come about? How do you research a show about someone where you can't go to the airport bookstore and buy a 600-page autobiography or book about Lempicka. So how do you write a story historically accurate as much as you can and true to who she is, and then tell it and have the okay from the estate and the people? It's not just like you home with your MacBook. There's a lot of moving pieces to putting a show like this together. So how do you get your information?
Yeah, well, first of all, I work with the most brilliant collaborator in the world, Carson Kreitzer, who's co-book writer with me and writes the lyrics, and she had this idea that this woman's life should be a musical. Carson likes to say that she writes about difficult women. These are women who don't. Am I allowed to curse? I'm cussing.
Yeah.
Like, beep it. These are women who don't put up with shit in their time. And they're like, yeah, I see the system. I see the fucked up machine that we live in. And I'm not participating in this. And this woman came to her attention, and she was like, why don't we know this woman? I've seen this artwork. I know this stuff. Why don't we know this woman? And she and I were working on we're doing this collaboration workshop at New Dramatist, something that has nothing to do with this. And we wrote a song together, and it was just sort of like magic. We're very different people, and yet we have a similar, I guess, way of approaching work. And she was like, you got to see this book. I think this is a musical. And again, I was 29 and I was saying yes to everything. Yes, it's yes. And also I looked at the paintings and was like, oh, this sings. Everybody wants to write a musical about everything. And most of them are bad ideas. Sorry. But at least for me, most of them, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to do. I don't know how to make, I don't know, certain movies. I don't know how to do that. Some movies I could, but when I look at something and it sings on the page, I know it. It's very clear. And that work sang. And she had spent at that point already a couple years researching Lempicka. And we got together in a room and we started. That's it. We started. And here we are, 14 years later. God on high.
Amen. Well, amen is right. Look, Mike says shit isn't a real curse word, so you're fine.
Thanks, Mike. Dude, I really thank you. I love Mike Malfa. He's
Darius was my
Darius is holding court. He's over there holding court, like just greeting everyone. He's the greeter.
Thank God for Matt, because if it wasn't for Matt and Matt writing, I think he knew I wouldn't have made the video. I wouldn't be engaged to Darius, and the world goes round. And that's really, Matt changed my life.
That's your Darius. My God. Darius, I love you. I didn't realize that was your Darius. That's hilarious.
So when my mom is here, I told you it's a family affair. We're all buying tickets. We're going to get a bus from the Bergen Mall in Paramus, New Jersey. We're going to go to Carmine's and have chicken parm, and we're going to head over to
I might want to come. Like that. Can this be like a meet with the artist, and I'll like give it a talk on the bus?
Yes, come on. We're here for it. Well, what I know before we talk about the creative team in this cast is talk about you. When you did not grow up in New York City. Where'd you grow up?
No. I grew up in Los Angeles or suburbs of LA.
He's an LA baby. Yes.
That's it.
And when did you start playing piano and writing music?
I started playing piano when I was 3. I had this little toy hippopotamus, and I would bang on it and sing songs because that's how that was sort of naturally how I expressed myself. And my dad one day said, "Do you want to take piano lessons?" And I said, "No," because I always wanted it my way. And then a year later, he said, "Do you want to take piano lessons?" "No," as I'm banging on the hippopotamus piano. And then one day I sat him down to do a terrible show of a 4, 5, 6-year-old banging on a piece of crap toy piano. He said, "You're taking piano lessons." And I said, "No." And thank God. Thank God at that time parents didn't care what their kids said. They were just like, "You're doing what I tell you, or I'm going to beat the crap out of you." Yeah. And that's how we were raised. And thank God, because it all worked out.
It sure did. And you went to school, you studied music, and you then...
I studied acting. I mean, I was an actor in college, which to be honest, was a very powerful way to understand how songs in musicals have to function. You have to just understanding how an actor has to navigate through a song rather than just a songwriter writing a pretty song. It's a different craft.
Ooh. And we just had a conversation about writing for actors and telling a story, the book of a musical, and how important a book of a musical is compared to just the one song. I promise you, if you heard "Woman Is," this show is more than just one big song. This show is a story that is a full story. You writing and being an actor, and he's got IMDb credits as an actor, and you could go he does. When you being an actor, you approach each song. Is it almost like a monologue? Is each song to push?
Yeah, they are. They're monologues or scenes. Some like you got to get from point A to point B in a song. Otherwise, the song don't work. And I mean, look, I'm just as guilty as the next writer of sort of finding a pretty and being like, "I love this song. It's so pretty." It's like, but if it doesn't move the story forward, it's got to go, or you got to change it. You got to rewrite it. And to be honest, that has been, I think I'm a little bit up on my high horse these days about musical theater writing. I think because I'm like, it took 14 years. And in 14 years, I learned, I became a much better writer. So did Carson. We both became much better writers through a lot of trial and error and through a lot of learning what doesn't work. And, songs we loved had to go or had to, we would write a song and then it would go away for like 7 years. And then it would come back and there would be a new song in its place. And then we'd be like, the new song doesn't quite work. Let's go back to that old song. But now let's like tune it up with everything that we learned in the new song, because the initial impulse wasn't wrong, but the craft wasn't yet rigorous enough. And now our craft has become much more rigorous. So we can go back to that initial impulse and like tune it up. And that is that's what you're going to see on Broadway. This is so many songs that went away for so long came back with a clearer vision, a clearer purpose, and better craft. And now it's like, oh, this is it. We weren't wrong 13 years ago when we wrote those. We weren't wrong 10 years ago, but we weren't good enough yet. And we had to learn. We had to get better. And yeah.
Well, he doesn't write easy. He does not write easy, everybody. He does not try to sing a Matt Gould song and then call me. And the amazing artists that you have singing your songs are brilliant. And we're going to talk about this cast in a moment. That people are saying how handsome you are. They're loving the hair. They're loving the hair.
That's kind. Thank you.
Darius holds court. That's what he does. And
I love Darius.
Welcome back to New York City. And a
Thank
true
you.
artist. The look of a true artist.
The look. As long as I look like one, that's all that matters. You just have to look. That's what Lempicka's whole MO was. She's like, if you look like an artist, you're an artist. Like, that's it.
If I had a word to describe Matt Gould passion, you take art very seriously. You take you always said that being an artist is like being clergy. It's wearing a cloak. It is a real job. And you took that if you were doing a show in your living room, if you were playing for 6 people somewhere, or if you have a show coming to Broadway, you always have made the words and the work and the intentions of it really is something that is very at the forefront of you as an artist.
It has to be. I mean, we live in a time where everything is curated and everything is fast and everything is perfect and everything. We just want everything now and options and it's like there's nothing is sacred anymore. And I have gone through my phases in life where I was like, oh, for art, what's the point? It's all pointless. Everything is pointless. And I think I don't know. I've had some crazy experiences in life, just being a Peace Corps volunteer, being a father. Going through a marriage and having a marriage have really hard times. It's just like, yeah, it all doesn't matter and it all matters. It's like so this is such a Jewish point of view, but like because we're all gonna die someday, like this is all you get. This is it. So like it matters because we say it matters. And like and going into a theater and spending time with a community and taking in a common story that is about us, about humanity, about the ways that we fail and succeed and the ways that we're beautiful and ugly. I believe that is deeply important for a culture. That is what religion is supposed to do, when it's working at its best, to give us a chance to look at ourselves, to sit with our psyches. And we people don't go to church or synagogue anymore. Most people, there's, and even when we do, it's like, even that has to be a PowerPoint presentation in a rock concert. It's just like to keep people's attention. Nothing wrong with that per se, but I think that like the theater is a space where we can still theoretically come together, people from all different walks of life, and sit together and think about an idea and decide what we want to do about it, if we want to do anything about it, or decide if we are, living a life that lines up with the things we say we value.
Absolutely. And that's, you're the most inspired. You are an artist, and you have the talent to back it up. He's the fastest fingers, and this is not a dirty joke. You watch him play piano.
Hey,
he could write. He writes his face off, and I dare anyone. I love to give people sheet music to one of your songs and then be like, the accompanist go,
good luck.
So before we get to talk more about the show and the questions that I scoured the internet for, we're gonna come to all your
I'm so scared.
No, they're all fun and they're really good. But my question to you is, what I find most inspiring about your story, knowing you personally for almost 10 years, there was a time when I met you, you were waiting tables. You were yesterday's Broadway news. You had talked very much about maybe I'll never be good enough. Maybe I'm never going to make it to Broadway. Maybe I'm going to be the B-list guy that just never got the chance. And you stayed with, you didn't quit and be a teacher. You didn't move, in the middle.
There's nothing wrong with being a techer. Teaching is a beautiful, important thing.
You stayed with this and you stayed with it for a decade plus. And do you allow yourself the moment to go like, holy shit, like this is really going to happen come April? Like like this decade plus of fighting this and this dream. Once that show opens, Matt, you're a Broadway composer for the rest of your life. It's done. You did it.
Yeah, that's very special. That's a very like profound thing for me, because it's a dream. It's a dream, and it's a dream that I had from the time before I even really understood what it was. Um, so I do have moments where I feel like very aware, like I'm in the middle of my dream right now,
Yeah.
and that's something that I know it has been rare in my life, even though my life is amazing and there's so much that I'm grateful for. Um, but I think that like, I'm aware of like how few people get this kind of opportunity. Um, I'm so grateful that it didn't happen for me when I was 34 or 24 at a time in my life when I don't know that I'm sure it would have been great, but like it would have been, but um, I've lived enough now that I realize that this is everything, and it's also not everything.
Mhm.
And I say that with like deep humility, that I'm just like, I realize nothing is promised. I've been around long enough to see the foibles of Broadway, and that it's not this perfect idea that I grew up thinking it was, and that happens with anything. By the way, there is no perfect thing, um, but it's a dream. So yeah, I'm aware that it's a dream, and I'm I take that in as much as I can, and then I put it down and put my head down and do the work, because like there's work to do.
Well, April 14th, I'll be a puddle somewhere. Everybody, we'll all be a
Me too.
puddle somewhere. April 14th, previews start March 19th. Get your tickets. Go to lempickamusical.com. Follow Matt and follow this journey. You can fake Matt Gould. My brother has no social media. He only has Snapchat, and he stole fake Matt Gould, and he's fake Sean Bannon on Snapchat because he thought that was he thinks that's the funniest thing in the world. So when you also Mike says an incredible accomplishment.
Mike, are you single? Mike, what are you doing?
Mike Mike may audition. He sings in the car. He could be the
Come on,
Baron.
Mike.
So when we talk about this show, if you don't mind talking about your cast and your creative team about this show, Yale and you talked about Carson and your relationship working together 14 years and doing this, and Matt has 162 songwriting awards from all the fancy, the Jonathan Larsons and Steven Schwartz and the ASCAPs and the Shebangity Bangs and all the BMI stuff. And then you sit in a room with a writer.
BMI has never given me an award.
Oh, BMI, soon to be BMI.
BMI Shmiami.
No one wants that award anyway. And then you bring in a team of producers. It's a business, so you need a team of producers that believe in a show for years, that keep trucking with this show as well. You need a director to kind of rear this ship and kind of bring it home, which is Tony winning Rachel Chafkin, who, if it's Hadestown, if it's 100 things we could talk about. And then you need someone to get them to move, and you have Raja Feather Kelly, who Strange Loop and is done a ton of things. How is it to assemble a team and be this group of? How do you work without ego, and how do you work as a team to get the best product done for the end result?
Well, I think that's a question anybody on this chat can answer that question, because we all live in community with other people. And so, we do our best to be honest with each other, to be loving and compassionate with one another, to hold each other accountable to the things to the commitments that we've made. And for the most part, like, the great thing about working in the theater is that, like, it takes so long to get to wherever you're going that, like, for the most part, everybody who's there wants to be there. And, I'm working with a team of people that I think are just cool, great, lovely, kind people. And and extending out from even Rachel, who's a wonderful friend, and Raja, who's become a wonderful friend, and Carson, is my sister. Then I've got like an amazing music team that I've worked with for over 10 years on Witness Uganda, when it was Invisible Thread, when it was Witness Uganda again at ART. Like, just, these are like my people. We were having a music department dinner the other night at Cynthia Meng. Cynthia Meng is our associate music director, and she was a student at Harvard when we did Witness Uganda at ART. And she saw that show, and then she like reached out to me years ago to come work on Lempicka, and then we brought her out to LA when we remounted Witness in LA, and now she's like the associate music director on Broadway of Lempicka, and she was saying, I slept on my friend's couch when I came out to LA, and I was like, oh my God, like, these are people in this room. Remy, music supervisor, who's like my brother and who is one of my most trusted collaborators in the world. Charity, our music director, like, these folks, I feel like we hitched our wagons to each other. And as I was sitting in that dinner the other night, I was like, oh my God, like we got to get it right, because the success of one is the success of all in this room. And I want their success as much as I want mine and the show. I want their success, because these are people I just love and care about, and that have taken incredible risk because they believe in something I wrote. And that is, like, again, a profound responsibility and something I don't take lightly.
Well, one thing you could say about Matt Gould is that when you treat everyone like family, like you are one of those universal love family. Family is not always who you're related to. You take care of your people. You're an incredibly generous artist to me and to many, many people. And this is your time, and we're all here for it. We are so here for it. And this whole team. And I've seen Matt in a recording studio. I've seen Matt in his home, on stage. You just work hard. You know what you want, and you're able to articulate it, and you find people who can give it to you. And that's why the work is so good. That's why you should be listening to, while we're here, the 3 sneak peek Lempicka tracks that are playing right now. So if you want to get a sneak peek of what Lempicka sounds like, wherever you listen to music, you just type in Lempicka original Broadway cast. You're going to get 3 songs before we get hopefully a full album when the show's out and about and out in the world. But you can get a sneak peek right now. Let's talk about this cast. And this whole conversation can make me cry. And yes, the hustle never stops. The grind never stops. That's it. The grind never. We keep grinding. And right before Matt had that profound music dinner, we went to the Bronx Zoo with his boys. And if you ever want real life, if you ever want to see what real life looks like, and you ever want to be shown, it doesn't matter, your show's coming to Broadway, go on a subway with 2 babies.
That's right. On the coldest day at the Bronx Zoo, trying to get them to walk up to the freaking giraffe. Just walk to the damn giraffes, please. For the love of God. They don't care about that I have a show going to Broadway. They don't care. Like, that's humility. That's how you just, like, keep your feet right on the ground. Like, just stay right there. They don't care.
So you have been right. I'm curious about the casting process and your part in that with this team. If you ask me, is there muses for the Matt Gould music? Are there people who understand, the way that people talk about Bernadette and Stephen Sondheim, or there are certain people, certain singers who just get your music. They just sing your music. And Eden Espinosa and Amber Iman have been singing Matt Gould music for a long time. They have hitched and you have hitched yours, and you all have worked together on this project and many other projects. What was it like when the contracts were signed and you all got to take a moment and say, we're coming to Broadway? Like, this, Eden and Amber are a very close collaborator and friends of yours, and now you all are going back to Broadway together in this piece.
Yeah, I mean, Eden was one of the first people I called when I heard we got a theater. She was about to go on stage. She was doing I think she was up at Williamstown doing some benefit or something, and like, we were like, I have like a picture of like FaceTimes, because like our connection kept getting cut off, and I was weeping, I was sobbing, and I was trying to FaceTime her to be like, we're going to Broadway, And every time, the thing would come on, all she sees is me crying, and then it would shut off. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And like, she's about to walk on stage, and like, it's just, one of those stupid, shitty connect. You're trying to have this important moment, and of course, God is like, "You idiot! I'm not going to make it this easy for you." But yeah, I mean, it's Eden's family, Amber's family. Amber has worked on every professional show I've done in New York in some way. And Eden, there's a funny story about Eden. Like I saw Eden perform at Joe's Pub. I don't know. It had to be like 16 years ago or something. And I wrote to her like on, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook at the time. And I was like, I think you're amazing. Will you sing my little new composer songs that I'm writing? And like, she didn't write back to me. And then like 5 years later, she came to see a workshop of, sort of by chance, Witness Uganda at Columbia. And she was in the audience, and I remember seeing her in the audience because after the show was done, she was like tears streaming down her face. And she was like, and then she went to write to me on Facebook. And she saw that 5 years earlier I had written to her. And she was like, "Oh my God." And that was the start of our friendship. It was the start of like, you missed your chance, girl. But she did, she did it. We're here. We made it.
Well, when you do an Eden Espinosa deep dive and you go and you see the Wicked and you see the Brooklyn and you see the Rent and you go back to Disneyland, her voice is as amazing today as it was 25 years ago. She's gonna blow the roof off of this theater. The roof.
She's a monster. She's a monster. And I say that actually to also say that I think what I love about Eden, what I love about Amber, what I love about Georgia Bood and Andrew Szymanski and Beth Level and just these people is that they are Natalie Joy Johnson. These are incredibly skilled singers who are not afraid to be both beautiful and ugly. And I just, I don't like seeing musicals that are just pretty. That doesn't do it for me. That's just me. I like pretty things, but like if you're gonna scream in my face for 2.5 hours, or in our case, 2 hours and 10 minutes, you're welcome. You got to give it all to me. I want the beauty of humanity and I want the ugliness of humanity. I think about like Alice Ripley and why can't I think of the name all of a sudden?
Next to Normal.
Yeah, it's just like, she's just you just, I want singers who are like gonna get. I had an acting teacher in college who was like, we raise actors here who are not afraid to spit and fart and belch and sweat. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to go see. That's what human beings do. That's what we do. So if you're giving me the pretty version of life on stage, I see the pretty version all over. You can go on Instagram and see the pretty version all day. I want all of it. Give it all to me. And that's why those singers are so brilliant. Yeah.
Well, Eden, Amber, George, Andrew, Natalie, Beth, the Broadway babies almost fainted and fell on the floor. Nathaniel back on Broadway. It's an all-star cast of singers. Natalie sings her teeth out, literally. Andrew and George, the Tony and nominations and wins and people, just Broadway careers. You guys are kind of like the Broadway cool kids. You're little rabble rousers. Like, you guys are not afraid to call someone out. You're not afraid to do it your own way. And that's what this world needs. That's what we need. That's what we want on Broadway. We want this. We want this. We need this.
Yeah. I don't know what else. Also it's fun. The show's fun and funny and grand and big and over the top. And so I just want to say I'm never opposed to like fun and frivolity and kooky and all of it. Entertainment.
Yes.
But entertainment is just a tool. I don't go to the theater to be entertained. Entertainment is just a tool in the arsenal of a writer. Like, I'm going to entertain you, and I'm also going but I'm doing that to take you on this crazy ride. Because entertainment is cotton candy. Cotton candy. Like, you get high and it's fun, and then you go home and you gotta, I don't know, eat candy corns. Then
Right.
then it's next.
Well,
But this is like we're gonna go in there and get your life for you. You're gonna go get your life because we want to get filled. I want to get filled up.
Unlike Eden Espinosa, when I wrote to Matt after seeing his show, Matt did respond. And what I wrote to Matt about is that his music is moving. The music is moving. The stories are moving, because if you like humanity, if you're someone who goes to the movies or goes to see a play or watches a television show because it's a slice of life, but it's real, and you want the snot down the nose and you want to hear it like it is, then this show is a show for you. And if you saw Witness and Invisible Thread back in the day, or if you have seen the secret slime tutorials of Woman Is through the incarnations through the world, Matt's version, Eden's version that's been out and about in the world, you got to see it with all the bells and whistles when it comes to the Longacre, which is a beautiful theater. It's like someone wrote on Broadway World, it's Rachel Way, because you have Hadestown across the street.
She's the queen of 48th, baby. She is the queen of 48th, honey.
Go. That's it. I'm kissing his ass because just wait. I'm playing Matt Gould in his life story.
Robert gets a direct offer. He's direct offer only. He doesn't audition.
I have to say, when I was talking about community, and again, it's hard for me because I know you, and I'm very lucky to know Eden and Amber. I went to acting school because of Eden, because Matt says, Eden, where'd you go to acting school? Send Robert. Matt music directed for Amber, and I saw Amber afterwards, and Amber said, I said to her, I want to do a show. And Amber came to see my very first show at the Triad, where 30 people were sitting there. There's a family. You build an artist family, people that really reach out, and the ego and is not there. It's just about creating art. It's about creating.
Oh, there's plenty of ego there, Robert. That's kind. There's plenty. There's plenty of ego. let's not sugarcoat this shit. There's plenty of ego.
But they can back it up. But they okay, fair. I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
These are the questions
that the Broadway World message board wants to know. And they're not bad. They're not scary. Eden, people are worried that they're going to buy a ticket for a Wednesday matinee like Bette Midler, and Eden is not going to, she's going to announce a 7-show week. So they're already saying, are we not buying Wednesday matinees? Is Eden going to do 8 shows a week?
8 shows. 8 shows.
So Wednesday at 2:00 or whatever time that matinee is, she's going to be singing Woman Is, and that first act is going to end, and she's going to be skrelting and belting.
That's it.
So buy your Wednesday matinee tickets. Go.
Get them. Come on, get them.
The Baroness. The Baroness is a part. People want to know because they love Beth. She's a legend. She's a Broadway legend. And they literally asked, does the Baroness have a good part? Does she sing? Is there a moment we're going to get to hear Beth sing on stage?
She has the 11 o'clock number. She is, yes, the Baroness is a good part. I think to me, she has the most heartbreaking song in the show. And I think that she will bring, I think the reason I love Beth is because so often she doesn't sort of get picked as the dramatic actress, which isn't to say this is a highly dramatic. She's funny, but it's a different kind of humor. And Beth is funny in real life. She is that person. She every character she plays, you're like, oh, that's really you. And so and what's thrilling about theater and why it's so fun is so Beth is going to be Beth as the Baroness, and that will bring a kind of buoyancy to that role that I think will be thrilling. I think Beth is going to be utterly thrilling in this, and I think because it's unexpected, And because the kind of song she sings, which is not a, nothing. I love that song. Like I would write that song too, but this is a little bit more.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more like soaring, and it's about life, and I think she's gonna let you all have it. So get ready.
When I read "Is the Baroness a Good Part," I laughed because the Baron and the Baroness part is a real beautiful arc in this show for sure.
And it sneaks up on you too. You don't know it's coming. It's like,
No.
oh shit.
No,
Yeah.
it sneaks through. Exactly. Is the show full of only power ballads? Is it 2 hours and 20 minutes of power ballads?
No, it's like it's all over the. I mean, listen to like Perfection online. Listen to Amber Iman has a new song we wrote in Act One, her entrance number, which I think is so. I can't say too much yet because we have to like. But no, it's all over the. In fact, so much of it is like so up tempo. But of course, we're gonna give you the power ballads first because like. You gotta like get the gay boys to come into the theater. You gotta get the girls to come into the theater. Like they're first, and you get them with power ballads. You can't just put out like a up tempo rap number and be like, "Come on to the family." Like that doesn't do it.
Listen to the 3 songs that are streaming. You'll hear Amber sing a beautiful, almost a lullaby to me. It's a heartbreaking song, but and the tone. No one has tone like Amber Iman in the entire universe.
She is a special human. Yeah.
Woo. And then listen to the others. It's not all power ballads, but I love a Woman Is will be ruined, like I told Matt in audition rooms for the rest of time. And I'm so excited.
That's my dream.
The 7:00 show schedule choice. Is that a choice that's made by producers? The earlier show curtain time. People were looking at the calendar. These Broadway babies, they go deep, Matt Gould. They are in this. They're looking at the tickets. They're wondering if they should buy an obstructed seat in the balcony or move a seat. They are deep on here. Do you have meetings where these decisions go? What is the show schedule? What is it? Are you involved in those kinds of decisions?
I'm involved in many things. That the scheduling, not so much. If I had a strong opinion about it, I'm sure I would have been listened to. But that's really that's more something that's for the producers to decide, along with the theater owners. Like just in terms of what they think is going to be most reasonable.
Yeah, and I love a 7:00 show because I get to go home. I'm old. I don't need.
Baby, we'll go and eat afterwards. Like that's so great.
Yes. Chicken parm at Carmine's like a good tourist would. And I'm from New Jersey, I can't, I'm not that cool. Go to Glass House with all the cool kids. Well, who is this show for? Who is this show for? If you're not queer, if you're not Jewish, if you're not a woman, you don't have to be any of those things. This is not a show just for one particular group. Who is this show for?
Yeah, so who's Star Wars for? Who's Les Mis for? Who's Phantom of the Opera for? This is the protagonist is a woman, and it definitely is very much about her unique perspective. But I think this is a show for people who are alive. I think it's a show for people who are alive, and I certainly think that women and people who identify as queer in some way, like I certainly think there will be a feeling of recognition of like, oh, I see myself. At least I hope so. But it's for people. This is for the people. Musical theater is a populist art form. It's for the people. It's just about as close as we get to sort of what the Greeks were doing, more than opera, more than even plays. And so it's like it's for everybody. That's why we like when one of them hits, when you get a Hamilton or a Rent or a Hair, you're like, this is everything. It's doing everything to me. It's hitting me it's firing on all cylinders. And it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter whether you're a man, woman, gay, straight. Who cares? It's touching your humanity.
Yeah.
So come on in, come on through.
before we get Mike's back, Mike has a question for you. But before I get to Mike's question, when you are playing, take the LA run of Witness Uganda. You played on stage. You've been playing. You played that show everywhere, and now you have a show where the music's written and you're not in the pit. Matt Gould is not on stage playing a piano. What is it like when you're gonna give this baby up and it is done? Like this is it. It's final. It's set. It's frozen. There's no more opening up Garage Band. In my head, it's Garage Band or whatever. Fiverr. No,
Logic.
Sorry, the fancy version of Garage Band. And there's no more making scores and sending this off to be arranged and copied. It's this 14-year journey is done. It's up.
What a gift. What a gift. I mean, I think it's a child, right? I know that time will come with my children where they're just like, I don't want to hear from you anymore, or like, yeah, I'll come visit you on Hanukkah and Christmas. I'll come see you once or twice a year. And that's, so it will be with this. It's like, go out in the world and do the next thing you're supposed to do. Like I got to leave my imprint, but again, I hope this doesn't come across as sounding, I don't know, like conceited or something, but like, it's not just about me. There have been hundreds of people involved in some way in making this, people who have done workshops and readings, people who make the show happen. And I'm not saying multiple directors have touched the show in various ways. Audience members who have come through and laughed or not laughed at a joke, or cried or not cried at a moment, which is all insight to us. So I'm just, as the writer, like you certainly get a certain amount of like authority over which way the path may turn, but it's not just about me, and it's a beautiful thing for it to go out in the world and do whatever it's going to do, and then ultimately be done in other productions and have other people find new things about it that I didn't see. That will be really exciting and scary and exciting.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to make you come to the Villagers Playhouse in Somerset, New Jersey when they do this.
Maybe I'm there.
Version.
I am there.
We're going to bring Matt Gould out. Come on. Yes.
Come on. I'm here.
License this baby, but after a long run.
Lempicka Jr., baby. Lempicka Jr. Let's go. I don't know if that's going to fly.
I love it. It's going to be great. Mike says, is it different writing Lempicka, a historical figure, versus writing Witness Uganda, which was more of a personal story with people you knew, or more a part of your story?
No, it's not different because all the stories are personal. They're all personal. For me, they are. I don't know how to write something unless I'm inside of it somehow. So like at any given time, I have been Lempicka. At any given time, I've been Griffin in Witness Uganda. At any given time, I've been Tadeusz and Marinetti. Certainly with this show, this one especially feels like I have at different times been a different character. I've been the artist, sort of like trying to like cut a new path, and I've been the husband who feels left behind, and I've been the revolutionary who just wants to burn it all down, and so it all feels deeply personal, which is why I say the show is not about just me, and it's about me, and it's about everybody. It's for everybody, because we're all in there a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I feel like every process is different, but writing a personal story versus a Lempicka story, no, not different.
Well, Darius says this was worth the time with wine, and yes, come on, open a bottle of wine.
Darius.
Matt Gould will drink a bottle. He would rather have some coffee and chocolate or some hummus, but he'll.
Baby, you know me so well.
If you want to go to opening night, don't send him flowers, people. Just get the nicest, fanciest chocolate, or
dark chocolate with almonds, baby. Oh,
that's it. He might write a show about you just for that.
Like I've thought about doing a musical about chocolate. I have. There's something there.
There's a lot of jokes, and I'm going to let them go. We could write a lot.
Good idea. I think that's a good idea.
But
Darius, do you want to weigh in?
Christine says, Matt is a multi-talented, passionate, inspirational human. Lempicka sounds like a deep, meaningful show with such substance. Will take away so much from this theater, so dreams come true. Christine comes from North Carolina. She's coming up to see my show in June at 54 Below. And she always asks, Christine, get a ticket that weekend and make sure you check out Lempicka because it's definitely going to be the show of the season. Your music, the music that Matt writes for Matt, that one day the world is going to get to see, the music that I've gotten to hear that no one gets to hear. If we're swimming upstream, if we're in Witness, if we're in the deep cuts of the Matt Gould anthology, one day the world is going to see. You are somebody who. Darius says that's a conversation in person.
Yes, the chocolate. Yeah, I got you. Yes. I got you, baby.
We're it's only just begun. It's only just begun. It's only just begun. And your mark on me and a lot of artists and the world is I don't say this like to be stupid or deep or corny. Like your music will live forever, and that is what's so beautiful about the art. And there's so many young people and old people and people that have never seen a Broadway show who are going to take their $200 that they saved to walk into the Longacre, and they're going to be given something. And a lot of time, I'm not trying to be shady, a lot of times people save their money and they go see a show, and the shows are with good intention, but this show is going to change people the way they see life. And that's thanks to the work that you and Carson and this incredible team of creatives and cast did. Congratulations.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate that.
It's
That's
time.
very kind. Thank you.
This is his time, y'all. It is his time. This is his year. And we're all so excited to be here for it. I can't talk about how much you mean to me because I will cry. You changed my life. You're my brother, and I'm here.
It's very mutual. It's very mutual, Uncle Eleanor. We call it. Am I allowed to say that we call you Uncle Eleanor? Because we have to give him like a little bit of a drag name, like just a little bit, because he was straight when I first met him, and we had to sort of just like recalibrate that for my children, so they know you as Uncle Eleanor. And when I say Robert's coming over, they're like, who? I don't know, Robert.
Nothing is like a train in the Bronx with two kids yelling at me, calling me Uncle Eleanor. That is its own sitcom.
It is. It also may be a musical at some point. That might be your show, baby.
Everybody that's watching here tonight, make sure you follow Matt on Instagram and go to at fake Matt Gould, and also go to lempickamusical.com. Get your tickets. Get them now before the show starts and all of that fun stuff. If you are listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network, thank you so much. We're a show where artists talk about art. And if you're watching us on YouTube, join us every Thursday. It's Broadway week, Matt. We have the Harry Potter boys this week. We have some of the cast of Pearl.
I want to meet the Harry Potter boys.
Victoria Clark is here to talk about her Grammy nomination.
I love her.
Kimbo, Andre DeShields and Melba Moore coming on the show soon. So this is his fault. He said to me, there's something you could do something. I don't know what it is yet. Well, here we are. Matt, I appreciate you. I look forward to all this journey, and we're here for it. Thank you so much for taking time to be here, being here with us.
Thank you, Uncle Eleanor, and all of you. Thank you so much.
The best is yet to come, everybody, and I thank you all for joining us on this Tuesday night. There's more good than there's bad. There's more love than there's hate, and take care of somebody today. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.